Well, welcome back everybody once again to the channel. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you all. Yes, it is the 24th of December 2024, and it looks like it's going to be a holiday bash once again. And if it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and turn your notifications on so you know when I post the next video. I'm getting my drink set up, and I want you all to get your drink set up so that way you can get yourself ready for all the fun. So, now that I got my drink all set up here, get it shooken up, get it ready to go. So that way, get your Gatorade, by the way. It's this time of the year, jingle bells, jingle bells. Yeah, I had to put that in there. Hello there, MTBK. Yeah, I had to put that in there, bro. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get the party started and what we're going to be doing. And today, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be putting a PC together on Christmas Eve. Hopefully I can get it done and ready before 6 p.m. tonight. So I'm going to give you guys a couple hours of me building what I can, and then after that I'll have to finish everything off camera. But I'll let you know on, what was it? I'll let you know on Friday or Saturday how it turned out. But I know y'all are going to say, well, can't you show us it, getting it started and everything else? I will do my best, but if I can't get it built in time, then they're not going to be able to wrap it up for a Christmas gift. So, let's go ahead and just pull this right over here. And we're going to be using the graphics card, this MSI graphics card. It's the 1650, GTX 1650. I decided instead of going the route of the GT 730, I'm just going to go ahead and use my GTX 1650. It seems to be fair, because what they want is something that's going to give a little bit of a game push, and I don't think the GT 730 would be good for that. So, and let's go ahead and pull this off of the table, and let's get the patient on the table. The patient is on the table. So, I'm going to use one of my cases that I bought off of eBay a long while ago. It's still in brand new condition. So, but I already got the motherboard in. I already got the heat sink on. So I don't need to do anything here. Now I just need to add the fans and go from there. What kind of fans I'm going to use? Oh, it comes with one of these, by the way. What kind of fans am I going to use? Oh, let me put this down here for now. I am going to use these brand new Mustic fans. These are brand new fans. So I'm going to be using these. Here, that way you guys can get an idea. I'm going to use those fans because I put these on the side. I figured that I'll use them sooner or later. So, I guess today is a good day to put them together and you know, use them. So now we'll have to rough this in. We can go 2 fans on top, which that's what I'm hoping for right now. Little goodie bag. It's got all the screws and stuff in there for the fans and every other screw for the case, so if I need any more, I got it all here. And that's pretty cool. So, I hope everybody's having a great holiday. Y'all having a great holiday out there? Just let me know what kind of holiday you're having. Not unless y'all are going to be a Grinch and not tell me anything, then that'll be a different story, as you can see. So, I'm separating my screws right now. And yes, I don't have one of those special mats like everybody else has got. So, I'm going to have to do it my way. And that's the old school way. So I'm going to have to grab my screwdriver. And don't forget, you can get this screwdriver at Walmart. You can get the whole kit for $11.99. Because JJ's PC Builds told you so. Sorry, I had to do a Linus thing. I had to do a Linus thing on that. Because since it's the screwdriver. So, I have great plans for the next year. Looking forward to it. I do too. And it's called Sleep Through the Whole Year. So, and I hope I can get away with it too. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can get away with it. Yeah, buddy. Now, these fans got their options, you know. I mean, these fans I'm going to use to plug into the motherboard. So, this is going to be a motherboard thingy. Now, I don't have a hub that I can plug directly into the power supply and eliminate plugging into the motherboard. If I did, then that would be a different story. So, but I don't. Okay. So now, I'm putting the fans on top because they're exhaust fans. Okay. This pulls the air out. The problem is with some cases that in the front you don't have enough airflow in the front. Which this one does, by the way. It's got a 1, 2, 3 bay. Holds 3 120 or, yep, 3 120 millimeter fans. Now this case only brand new. I bought the case for $50. It didn't come with the fans. I would rather buy a case that I have to supply the fans for. Because that way you can choose whatever fans you want. Okay, so I'm not tightening down the fan just yet. And if I'm thinking right, what I'm thinking is that my big hands might not be able to get to the power. And I was exactly right. My hands can't get to the power. The EPS connector in the top. Damn. So now I got to take the fan off. So until I plug the EPS connector in, I can't put this fan in. But that's okay though. At least I know. Let's see. This YouTube review is Linus Tech Tip Screwdriver Best. Hilarious. Yeah, well, I figured I had to do the screwdriver thing, man. As I mean, like every video, he's like, get your screwdriver at lttstore.com. Well, get your screwdriver in the whole pack at Walmart. So I had to get that out there. And yes, I got to take the fan off. So, because I got to be able to plug in the EPS cable for the power of the CPU. You know. See, I'm not gifted with, workspace and stuff like, like some of these reviewers have. I got my little space right here. And that's what I'm gifted with. So if I had a bigger space, yeah, I could lay out all the parts and say, guys, here's all the parts. Look what I got to put together. So it's not so simple here. I got a limited space right here. This is limited. So being limited, I got to deal with it. Let's see. Oh, interesting. If the fans are connected to the power supply, then the motherboard will not control its speed. Bro, I explained this before in a long videos ago. When you buy a fan kit for your PC, it connects into the power supply, the PSU. All the controls are here. All the colors, all the fan controls, everything you need to do is right here at your fingertips. So you don't need to jump into a program and take and change the colors or anything else. You could do it all from your fingertips. So, I don't need to jump into putting program after program after program into my PC and then have it suck up, RAM and stuff like that. I don't need that. I don't need all that extra BS. Forget it. It's not worth it. You're looking cute on the thumbnail, Jay. In your Christmas suit. Yeah, I know, right? Hello, pseudoscientist. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Okay, we know now that I can't put the fans in until I put the EPS connector in. So, in order to fix that, I have to put in the power supply. That's the only way I'm going to be able to get everything to, I guess, work right. So, let me grab the power supply that I got, and that's the power supply I got. Right there. The TR2 430. It's a beast of a power supply, guys. It's a beast. So, I can plug this in with no problem. And it just fits. It just fits into this case. So this takes a little bit of a wiggling job here, because the cage of the power supply is hitting on the corner of the cage. You'll see. I'll show you when I get it installed. Little bit of maneuvering, I'll get it in there. I'll get it in there. Oh lordy. I think I lost that screw. Yep, I lost that one. This is a tricky part. There, that's better. Now it's in my face, now I can see it. Ugh. I can see it, but now it's stuck where I don't want it. Fell into the plug. Okay. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Yes, I know, guys, there's easier ways to do this. So, I have always connected the pins to the motherboard, not the fan of RGB anyway. This step of the build is crucial. Check out the cable lengths and the main board. Well, I can tell you the cable lengths are fine. Well, damn, that doesn't even fit. I guess I got the wrong screws. Wow. Maybe it's this one. You know, what I'm going to do is go to Walmart and get a screw organizer so I can put all the different screws in a bin, so I don't have to fumble through all that. That would be a lot better. Okay, we got one successful screw in. Let's see. Could you imagine trying to see these screws with bifocals on? No, you guys can't imagine that. That would be too much. But I'm telling you, it's not easy to see the right ones. Yes, I'm looking at the screws. I can see y'all making fun of me now. Oh, damn, Jay can't see the screws. Oh, my God. Yeah, well, they got black screws on here. What do you think? Let's see, that's 3. One more. Just one more. Nope. I'm definitely going to have to get a studio, because the lighting here is killing me. I guess I'm short one screw. Shouldn't be. There it is. Took a little while, but we found it. So, whatever you do, don't drop a screw inside the fan. Whatever you do, don't drop the screw in the fan. Because that would suck. It only has to be semi-finger tight. You don't want to strip the screws out. God forbid, when you first start building, you'll see how many screws you strip out. This is more or less like an Asmon Gold build. So, want to keep all the screws looking brand new. So, now, there it is. What I've been fussing with the last 5 minutes. It's in there. Now, the wiring. How much I love doing the wiring. Let's see, EPS plug has to go in and around. Let's see, 24 pin has to go in and around. Nope, got to pull this back out. Okay, pull this back out, feed this in here. Okay, nice. So, we don't need any of that. Shove this through. Okay, here's my wiring job. Look at that, it's already done. My wires are already in. I just strap them right here. Boom, done. And then I got my wires here. I'll put all these in and done. I want to keep these 3 cages open. There's 3 cages here that you can put on the other side SATA SSDs. So if they wanted to, they could put SATA drives here in the future. So they got SATA drives here they can put in the future. So that works for me. And that means I don't have to fuss with it. So now, let's see. Okay, let's see. This one, and this one. Make sure. USB, audio. So USB and audio goes on these 2 cables. Now, what I do is I'm going to shove these underneath here. I'm going to shove those underneath there. And these 2, see, I put straps and everything else on here. See, this is a Velcro strap. You guys probably can't see it, but it's a Velcro strap. So, then what you do is you take and I want to keep it as flat as I can to the case. So, I'll pull, you know what, I can pull this underneath here, and I'll pull these underneath here too. Nice. So I can strap this one flatly here. Problem with tie straps is that when you use them, they become a pain in the butt because you got to take them off and on. It's just like it's wasting plastic. It's just non-stop waste of plastic. But I am going to use one to put in the center, but I'm not going to wrap the wires around it. I already got the tie strap in there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tie strap and put one of these like that, basically. So this right here is Velcro. This is Velcro. This is holding the wire down to the center. And then when I come down here, I got these two tie straps here. These Velcro straps. They'll both go here and here. And basically, that'll keep the wire from pulling out from this side to the other side. So, basically, you only need one piece of plastic. So, let's see. Oh, an Osmond Gold build. Well, I guess better than nothing, yeah. With modular power supplies, only the cables needed can be connected. While the PSU here is not modular, yeah, I know it's not modular, and has slight advantage in terms of efficiency. Yeah. Because there's no breaks in between the end of the wire and hooking into the power supply. The more breaks you put into the wire, the more resistance you build up. Okay? So with that resistance build, you lose power other than gain. But this here is perfect for this system. On top of that, this has no PSU connector. None. This is derived off of the slot, the power. The power is derived right off the spot. So I don't need any extra connections, and all the power goes through the motherboard. So that's what makes it better. MSI was considered that 1650 a low profile. That was supposed to be considered a low profile back in its days. So you can plug it into any Dell Optiplex, you can plug it into any Hewlett Packard, because it didn't require the supplemental power, for the GPU. just coming out of the PCIe X16 connector. So that's what gives it an advantage. With modular power supplies. Oh, the most important question to me is so early. I know that some GeForce GTX 1650 graphics cards come with a power connector, though most like these don't. Yeah. The one that I got, this is the MSI one, this doesn't have the power connector. So that's less headache you have to worry about when you're swapping out GPUs. Now, since this power supply can handle the external power for a PSU, there is an option. So I left that option open in case they decide they want to put in a bigger PSU or a bigger graphics card. So the opportunity is there. If they want to, that's up to them. That's something I'm not going to twist their arm about. Later on down the road, people are changed their minds. They want something bigger. They want something better. So I might have to leave that one off. That's okay. We'll leave that one off. Because we want this case to sit flat. And the problem I might have is this right here. It might not be sitting flat. So, but, you know, is what it is. So, now that's basically the back is done. See right here? Basically the back... Sorry guys. Basically the back is done. It's all strapped. Neatly done. Ready to go. There it is. So, and if they want to add anything with SATA or Molex or whatever they want to use, it's all here. It's all on this power supply. So now the back is done. On to the front. All the extra wires that I did are right there. So basically they're out of the way. Now all I got to do is plug in this 20 plus 4, which I hate these things. And yes, I do hate these things. Because they're a pain in the butt to line up. Ugh. Pain in the butt to line up. Oh yeah, I mean, thanks for the 10 out of 10, bro. I mean, when do you ever see a non-modular power supply looking like the cables look great? I mean, you know how much fussing everybody goes through with the cables? It's like craziness. No click. Wow. I always make sure it's in properly. Yeah, it's clicked. Nice. Always make sure the cables are clicked in properly. And I got an 8-pin at the top. Now this is a beast. Let's see if I can get this in here. A little bit of flashlight action. See, now I wouldn't have this problem if I would have had the proper lighting, but you only can do with what you got. Get in there. Get in there. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. Okay. There we go. Nope, not connected. I always pull back on the wires to make sure they're connected. Because I would hate to have to put it in here and then pull back on the wires and find out that it's not connected. That would suck. So, where's that? And no, I'm not jamming the screwdriver in there. I know you guys are thinking that. Don't be thinking it. I'm not jamming the screwdriver in there. There, now it's back on. And wow. See, that's why I got to pull on it to keep, going at it until it clicks. What is the problem this week? Huh. Okay, I know it fits correctly. But for some reason it won't click. Maybe I'll just do them one at a time. Wow. That's acting like it's acting like it's not correct. Oh boy. This would be a good time to see if I got the right cable. This would be a good time. So no, that can't be it. Wow. That can't be it. Okay. Always got to make sure you get the right one. Like I said, it's good to use these Velcro tie straps. Because when you make a mistake, you can just pull the Velcro tie strap off and switch things around. No. This is a 6-pin. What the hell? Ground. Hot. This is the 8-pin. I'm backtracking. No, that's got to be the right one. Okay, for now, I'll just push that back in there. I always double check myself, people. I always double check myself. Even though that it doesn't look like it's necessary, in my mind it is. Because when you go to power up the motherboard, the last thing you want to do is send the wrong power down the wrong cables. And I know MTBK is going to say, Jay, you know they're coded inside of each one of those plugs. You know a PCIe X16 external connector is not going to fit that plug. I know you're going to say it. Some of my power banks have a crank to generate electricity, plus solar power and a lamp. There will be light anytime if I want to. Well, as long as you got solar power, I guess you'll be okay. But I knew you were going to say that about the connector, and you're going to say to me, Jay, you boo-booed. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I still have to do the rerouting. And I still have to figure out why this doesn't fit. Because if not, this would suck. I don't have another power supply for this. So I have to figure out why it's not working. And I really don't want to take this cooler off. I know you're going to say, well, Jay, take the cooler off. And the cooler has nothing to do with me sitting my fat fingers in there and trying to get this to latch. Gotta be careful I don't finally it latched. A little bit of maneuvering, it latched. Now I gotta maneuver my hands to get the other one in. That's why I say I hate those split connectors. Jeez. Oh. And this is a fight for my life. And I know you should have said, well, why don't you take out the motherboard? I know that what you would have done that too. You said, why don't you take out the motherboard? Why don't you take off the Cooler J? That's because I like the difficulty. And I like to complain about the difficulty. Okay. Connector number 2. Very carefully. And there it is. Now it's in there. Now it's tight. Okay, that's not going to be in the fan, so that's good. Okay, let's read what you guys are writing here. Damien, welcome to the channel. Well, I'm doing a PC build right now, if you're wondering. So, MTBK says, once again, you know more than I do. I wouldn't have complained. It's time. Good evening, Jay. Makes a freaking build. Trying to. But when I get everything all nice and put together, it'll look better. So. And yes, it is a Franken build. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock all these connectors out of the way when I'm talking to you guys. Let's see. I know I should have bought the ones where you plug them in before you plug it in. That's ground. That's a hot. Okay, so for the front side panel connectors, let me see if you guys know what I'm talking about. About the front side panel connector, the one with the reset button, the power button, the LEDs. This is going to be trivia for you guys. Which side do you connect the positive connector for the H? No, that's not for the hard drive. For the power LED. Let's see if you guys can guess that. Is it positive top or positive bottom? If I remember right, I think it's positive top. Going from left to right, you start with your left one, and then you put the one for your hard drive LED in first. Then the second one's for your power LED. The third one over is for your reset switch, and the fourth one over is for your power switch. And they can be either way. For the power, really? These are only constructed for the power to go one way. I never knew you can do them backwards. That's a new one to me. So, that's a new one to me. I always known them that you got to do, is the top side power or ground, or is the bottom side power or ground? And let's see what you guys are writing. I can talk a little about some in Jay's environment. Lighting games, solid processors, believe, and Intel Xeon, a GTX 1650 for a low price. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a 2650 V2, an E5 Xeon processor, 8 core, 16 threads, with the GTX 1650 using ECC, 32 gigabytes of system RAM, with a GTX 1650 that has 4 gigabytes of VRAM, a clock speed of 19 to 2300 megahertz on the boost. Don't quote me on it, I'm just going off what's on my head. So, if that gives you an idea of what I'm doing here. Either side. Well, we're working towards it. That's why I got to keep my flashlight, because there's a dark shadow in here that I can't see it. So I got one in so far. Now we got the hard drive. And if they don't light up, it's going to be you guys' fault because you didn't tell me which side was which. So oh, and the motherboard's a X79 V2 machinist that I got from China. So, if you're wondering, the motherboard, the processor, and the RAM was all $125. So, keeping that in mind, with it having an M.2 slot for the NVMe SSD, makes it very valuable. And I've already ran my 4070 on this motherboard with, like I said, with all the bells and whistles, and didn't have one problem. The processor stayed cooler. Didn't get as hot as I thought it would. And I ran it full out at 100%. So, oh my God, I'm sitting there talking and can't even get this plugged in. Okay, so now let me get the rest of the headers in. This is USB type A, matching it up. USB type A's got a spot that's missing and a pin that's missing on the motherboard. They're very easy to line up, other than me having the shaky spout. Okay, USB 3 done, and now and like the audio jack for the front are the same way. You only can put the pins a certain way. We'll go ahead and leave that like that. Looks snazzy. There. Very basic and simple, guys. There. Very basic and simple. And then you just go into the back and readjust it, and then pull the excess wires through that you might have. And that comes like, you can do it like that. That's why I like the Velcro. All the extra wire you just can bunch up into that one slot. It won't matter. Okay, that should be good. Okay. Oh, it still looks clean. It still looks good. You ain't gonna see the back anyway, so cover don't matter. Now that we got through the power supply thing, did you guys notice on the wires they might look like ketchup and mustard that's on these wires, but it has a black coating that goes over the top. It's like a mesh coating that kind of blends it in, makes it a little bit colorful, but not. I don't think that's bad. A lot of people don't like the ketchup and mustard. I mean, guess what? I hate to tell you this. The ketchup and mustard was designed for a reason. So that way you can track every one of the wires for 12 volt, 5 volt, and 3.3 volt, negative 3.3, negative 12, you know, the on wire to turn the power supply on, the grounds. If you get it all black, you can't tell which one's which. So, now that you guys know the investment in that, I think it looks pretty good so far. Hello, pseudoscientist. Good to see you. Is it a Gen 4 M.2 slot? It is 3.0x4. There, Damien. It's 3.0x4, but it's still just as good. I was doing a little bit of research on how I wanted to put this together. So if I get one SATA SSD drive that has 1 terabyte of space, I put the operating system on that, and then turn around with this M.2 drive. They want to put in 4 terabytes for that M.2 drive. So you can plug in a PCIe 4.0, but futuristic, for future proofing, you know, you can put, they will downclock either 3, 4, or 5. So if you want to go that extra route, I'm not going 5.0. Forget that. 4.0 x4 will clock down to 3.0 x4, and you can still run your games, not at full speed, but if you get it with high enough speeds, it will run. It should run about 4,000 megabits all day long. So, let me see what you guys are writing. If you are going for a low spec PC, wouldn't use one to be a better value? Well, if you look at it now these days, what is a better value, my friend? What do you consider a better value? When these companies keep jacking up the prices and then lowering them, jacking them up and lowering them, you really have a hard time to get a better spec PC for a lower price. Yeah, I could avoid the fact of AM4. Yeah, I could have went and did B550, but we're talking about a $300 or less build. This right here is going to cost less than $300, and I'm putting this all together for free. This is for somebody that wants to give them to their kid. So I stepped up and I said, I'll do one for you. And they got options. This case has options. You can change the motherboard. You can change the power supply. You can change many of things. Or you can change the motherboard, keep the power supply, turn around, keep the solid state drives and all the fans and everything. You can change the CPU and motherboard and RAM. So if they want to build from this system, they have an option. They can build from this system. The case will handle it. The case will handle a full ATX motherboard. They have an option to stick up to a 1,000 watt power supply in this case. It has buildable options. So this is the reason why this right here, this $50 case is lightweight, and this PC is not heavy. See? This PC is not heavy. So I give them a better option. Let's see. Come January, February, lots will go on sale. Yeah, they will. But this is something they want to get their kids started with. You understand? So this way, when the sales do hit and they say, okay, and they come to me and say, I want to change these parts out. We got these parts. Here you go. I'll look at it and say, okay, we'll put it together. Or they come to me and say, hey, there's something on sale I want to get, or stuff like that. They have that option. Okay. They have that option. So. This is mainly a design philosophy and personal taste in the 21st century. MDBK. You're right. Some love to look at the function and some like it slick. Which, if they wanted to do ARGB, it'll automatically have the fans in there. We can take and get a fan hub for $10 off of Amazon with the remote control, gentlemen and ladies. With the remote control. And if they want to change the colors and everything else, they can. Since the motherboard's not equipped with ARGB. Simple. This is the reason why I kept it simple. Is because they wanted it simple. They don't want it, like too hectic to where it's too busy and, they're paying more attention to the PC than they are the monitor. So Damien says, what would you do with all these PCs you built? You must have 14 by now. Damien, no I don't, believe it or not. I only have 7. I only have 7. And this is the 7th. So now this is going to be the 6th. So basically, what I've been doing with the PCs is that when somebody's in need of a PC and they want to go on, like, they want to get it from me, you know, these are like neighbors and stuff. I put them on a consignment plan. I say, okay, well, you pay me this much a month until you pay the PC off. No interest. I don't charge interest. I don't charge for the labor. I put it here on YouTube. That's good enough for me. When I get over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, then yeah, it'll start paying off. But until then, I got to work for it. This is like a job. You got to work for it. So, let's see. Pseudoscientist says, unless you are streaming from a closet. No, I'm not streaming from a closet, bro. No, it's not a closet. You need to reformat your layout. Can't see anything. Yeah, I know. Like I told you, I'm not done yet with this layout here. This might not even be a permanent thing. This just might be a temporary thing right now until I come up with something better. So I might be going into something bigger. That's what I'm hoping for. A bigger studio. Move this over here. A bigger studio, the better. Okay? That's what I'm hoping for. A bigger studio, the better. And I'm going to keep working for it. I'm going to keep putting the videos out. I'm going to keep showing you guys that I'm doing this thing and I'm not going to give up. That's the whole idea. I'm going to show you I'm not giving up, and then you guys can see I'm not giving up. Maybe second camera will do the trick. Yeah. I got to go by minimalistic finance. I have to build something that goes on the ceiling that points down for a camera for you guys to see, you know, different views and everything else. I have to put in more cameras. I have to put in different views for, you know, different cameras. I'm still working on getting my next camera. So once I get my next camera, it'll be pointing down. And when I do a build, you guys will see directly into the build. Hoping. So yeah, it is something that's being worked on. Why can't you put your camera on a boom? Well, limited room. I really can't. So I'll be working on that. That's my next thing, because right now it's strapped to my PC, so I'm going to be working on it. Why can't you, or would it be too shaky? Well, I don't know. Shaky part, I don't know. I would have to think about that. And we have to have a chat about that so-called beard after Christmas. You know, I'm going to tell you what I did was, I did it like this because I wanted you guys to I wanted people to start paying attention to my videos. So I did something crazy and stupid. I decided to shave my head, shave my face, leave this on, and see if y'all noticed the goat. Simple. So. Sorry I'm late. Well, hello, machine. You're not late. You're good. You better be. I lost my feeling in the wharf. Wow. I'm not going to ask you about that, bro. You'll tell me. Hey, the intro music was Jingle Bells. Welcome. Yeah. MTBK, yeah, it was Jingle Bells. Today is a good day. No, it's not, bro. Machine ain't no good day to die. It's a good day to be alive, but it's not a good day to die. Let me set this off to the side for a moment and get me a drink. I'm taking my time with this, yes. I don't want to make a mistake because I've already made two. I've already made two mistakes. And I don't want to keep making mistakes because then I got to go back and fix them and go over and over and over again. I already got one mistake I got to fix, so. A good day today. Yep. $300, that's low. Well, yeah, it is. Number one, it's low because I know that if you were to go buy a GTX 1650, they want $165. I didn't charge the person I know for that. I didn't charge him that price. I didn't charge him the full price of the case. I didn't charge him the full price of the motherboard with all the condiments on it. You know, I didn't charge him the full price of the power supply. And I didn't charge him anything for the labor. So, $300 is a great deal now, ain't it? I'm sure down the road it'll come back to me 10 times fold, like they always say. Whatever you do, it'll come back to you 10 times fold. So I'm doing something good, so it'll come back to me 10 times fold. So, let me move my mouse cursor here. I'm reading what you guys are writing, so if I'm trying to catch up now. Can you fit an ATX motherboard in an ATX case, MATX case? No. If it says micro ATX on the for that case, then no, an ATX motherboard will not fit in that case. Unless it says it's full ATX, which I recommend when you get a PC case, it's full ATX, because this way you have an option to go ATX, MATX, ITX, and, you know, get one that, you know, you can get one that goes EATX, the wider motherboards. Depends on how wide you want your case. If you want it dinky, you know, you can go ITX. It'll be like small. Depends on what you want. I mean, it's all the matter of choice. You have to choose how big you want the case. And then after you choose how big you want the case, then you have to choose what you want on the case. And then after you choose that, because some people want the USB Type-C, they want the USB Type-A, the 2.0, the 3.0. Some people want the 5.0, but who's waiting for that? The headphone jacks in the front, decent airflow. Yeah, they want a lot of things. So, you have to make a choice of what case you want. I mean, if you make a choice on the case, then you have to stick to it. Then you have to choose what motherboard that's going to fit to that case. And if you choose one with USB Type-C, so the motherboard has to have USB Type-C. You know, that's how it works. And if the case has USB Type-A in the front, you have to have a motherboard that has USB Type-A. Or if it's got USB Type 3.0, you got to make sure, you know, both of you have to match it. And then once you match it with the motherboard, then you have to decide what kind of processor you're going to want with that motherboard. So you have to make a lot of choices. It depends on what choice you want to make. You know, all depends. I'm not sure the make or the model, so I can't Google it. Got a used PC with one M.2 drive slot. I need two. Okay, well, like I was just explaining a while back, you can do an M.2 slot on your if you got an X4 slot on your motherboard, or an X16 or a spare X8, you can do an adapter card for an M.2, a 2280. You can do it with two 2280s and plug it into the secondary slot on the motherboard and run it off of that. So you have room for an M.2 SSD. But if you're wondering, we'll take and do this, guys. We will take and do this. I'm gonna go to Amazon. Yes, I know it's not a part of the build. And then I will look up M.2 adapter. Oh, let me start with Amazon. Oh. Okay, let's start with Amazon. Oh, that's right. You guys need to come with me. There we go. I ain't signing in. M.2 NVMe SSD. So, now, they come in like this. M.2 NVMe. Oh, before you guys have a fit, I know I forgot something. Let me get it out there. I don't want you guys to get upset with me. So, let me go ahead and blow it up. There it is. Right here. You can get something like that. It's an X4. It's a single for $10, or you can look for the dual slot ones. I'm sure they have them on here. They got the X4. Let's look a little bit further. They got a docking station too, if you want to do a docking station. You know, you can go that route. A USB one for $20. They got M.2 PCIe adapter for SATA or PCIe NVMe SSD. M key right here. Okay. So, M.2. They got a B key and an M key. So, you would need one with two M keys. That's what you would need. So, dual M key. Let's see what we can find. So 4.0 X8 for 29 bucks. Let's see what it is. It's an M key. Yay. So this will fit all the way up to the largest ones. And you got two right here. It's an X8. So if you got a spare, oh, you know what, guys? Cannot believe I just did that. But the power of magic will make it back. See, power of magic. So, yeah, you can fit up to a 22,110, 2280, 2260, 2242, 2230. So, for this price, of $29, that's not bad. So, I don't think that's bad. They got a dual one here for $28. Yeah, I think that was the one that we just seen. They got one here for $16. So, believe it or not, they're saying that they can do a SATA M.2, which I don't prefer, use an NVMe. That's more preferable. Because of the speed of the NVMe compared to the SATA, you'll reduce yourself using a SATA M.2 drive down to one lane. Where a single NVMe M.2 will use 4. So you don't want to cut yourself at the neck when it comes to your speeds. Let's see. Damien says it's like a breaded dragon. Yep. Blizzard's doable. Docks, a standalone storage unit. Have lag. I'm not sure, but I really don't. I mean, what's the difference? What's the difference between a flash drive and the M.2? The speed? They both save the same amount of information, especially when they got flash drives now that are like half a gig. So he needs to read all my chats at once, then address me. Well, I do them one by one, bro. Is because I'm addressing you one by one. It's subject after subject, and I'm answering them. I haven't given up on you either. That's why I keep bugging you. Yeah, it's all good, bro. I understand. Okay, quit working for nothing. Nah, yeah. I try to do the best I can. So, I bought it used. My PC died. I have no idea even make of a case. Well, always look on your motherboard, because there's codes on your motherboard that you can read the codes and type them into the internet, and it'll give you who made it, and everything else. It's not the model number that you need of your computer, it's just the specification of the parts. You just need to know what type of parts you have in your PC. And after that, you can build from that. So it's very simple. I don't need the make and I don't care if it's Hewlett Packard, Dell, or whatever. It could be to where, somebody took an older computer out of a Dell, stuck it into, let's say, a case like this, and then, you know then you're stuck looking for all the little things. So I start with the motherboard, I see what kind of numbers are on there, and I go from there. I'll just buy an MTX motherboard to save the hassle. Some have dual M.2. Well, actually no. Some of them have three. Let me go back to the main screen. I'm gonna go back to the main screen. Some motherboards you can get ITX motherboards and have 3 to 4 M.2 drives on them. Don't ask. I don't even know how they do it. They put them on the front and the back of the motherboard. So you can find them with 2, you can find them with 3, and so on. So it all depends on what you want to do and what you want to spend to get to that level. So the more M.2s that are going to be on that motherboard, the more expensive it's going to become. So the lag on this convo is insane. How can I be lagging? This says I'm running at the max that YouTube allows me to. Get an app that reads your chats. Problem solved. I've got it, Jay. Add MTBK to the live stream. He's always here. He can read chat. He knows a lot, so can add to any build combo. True. Never stopped anybody from that before. Said you get in Discord, you're more than happy to, before I start the live stream, we'll boot into a live chat on Discord, and then I'll boot it right into YouTube. So as we're chatting from Discord, it's going right directly to YouTube. So I never had a problem with that before. Use an avatar for a pic if you want to stay private. Yeah. I think MTBK says, I think I'm sober as always, but I don't do live streaming these days. Now I'm caught up with you guys. Now I'm back to the build. There. Now I'm back to the build. Now you guys have that time to jingle along and sing a song for the Winter Wonderland. And now I have to figure out what I want to do with the power for these fans. Okay, this fan has to go like this in here. Which, that's doable. Because I'm tucking everything behind and you won't see it. So, we'll go ahead and install this fan. And these are 120s. These are not 140s. So, alrighty. So this PC is not going to be like a monstrous PC, but it will do the job for the time that it needs to do it. And plus also too, I gave the neighbor the option. I said, look, I'll do one more good deal for you. You ever get tired of the PC and you want to upgrade it, bring it back to me and we'll work out a deal to get you upgraded. So, I was nice enough to do that. So, now when you're lining up your fans, you have to make sure that you line them up correctly, because if you line it up and push it too far back, then what'll happen is you can't get your back fan in. So, I never tighten up that one fan just yet. Even though that I got it here, I don't tighten it up just yet. And why the hell didn't you guys tell me I just put it backwards? You guys are watching me. You guys didn't even tell me I put it backwards. Oh my God. Why, guys? Why? Why didn't you tell me I put it backwards? Damn. Sitting there thinking I'm putting it in the right way. You guys don't say nothing. You know, what the hell, man? Should have told me I'm putting it in backwards. Ay, ay, ay. See? Another boo-boo. So. That's okay. It's alright. It happens. It's not like you don't have 8 holes on a power supply. I mean, not a power supply. Damn. A fan. Okay. Okay, so that's going to have to go like this. Now we're going in, now we're cooking in the right direction. You guys didn't tell me, you know, it's cooking in the right direction. That's okay. You can tell I never worked for Jay's 2 cents, right? No, I never worked for him. So, slowly put it together. Am I going to get it done in a couple hours? I'm trying. This is like a race for 6 o'clock, and I'm not going to be sitting here that long. I could have told you guys, hey, I already put it together, but we'll do the live stream anyway. But I didn't do that now, did I? So, yeah, now I put it together. I put it in the right way. Let's see. Let's go back to the chat. I need space. I need to space for my games. Okay, well, if you got, you should do one drive. If you're going to get more than 3 M.2 slots on a motherboard, you should do one for your operating system only, do one for your games only, and do one for storage only. So this way, you save the room for your games, you can put all your stuff on an extra storage, and it doesn't clobber your operating system. So, you can do it that way. The way I did mine was I got a 1 terabyte for my operating system. I got 2 terabytes for my games and for video editing. And I got 16 terabytes for storage. And that's running off of a SATA, a regular hard drive, but it's a server hard drive. So I know it's going to last a lot longer. So, just an idea. It looks like there's enough room for an ATX, but want to check before buying anything. Okay. Two should be enough. I want to do it cheap, of course. Well, depends on what kind of motherboard you want to use, depends on what kind of processor you want to use, or if you're looking for something to match up with the processor you got already, then just find a motherboard that'll match up with your processor that has 2 M.2 drives that will accept up to 128 to 256 gigs of system RAM. Like a little bit of future proofing. It's pretty much simple. So, it's all in your hands and it is your decision. Me, on the other hand, if the case is non-proprietary, that means if it's not Dell, Hewlett Packard, or Livono, but if it is, hopefully it's got a regular motherboard in there, so that way you have the option to switch it out to something that's better for a motherboard. But if it doesn't, then you're going to be stuck with the clause of, what do I do next? That's pretty much what you're doing now. You're saying to yourself, what are you going to do next? So, me, I don't reserve that luxury for that. I have old cases that I can do like sleeper builds and stuff in. So it all depends on what you want to do. If you want to do like a sleeper build, you can do a sleeper build. You can do anything you want. As long as the case will accept the motherboard you're adding in, you should be fine. Okay. So, but understand, when you get a case that's non-proprietary, then you can't do anything with it. Not unless you replace the motherboard with the same motherboard. You really got no other option with it. That's the thing. Because the power supply is not a standard power supply. It's a 10-pin power supply for the motherboard, but the motherboards that are proprietary, well, the motherboards, standard motherboards, are 24-pin and 6 to 8 pin on the EPS. So, let's see. And if you don't line up your fan in the back with the cutout, then you'll hear a whistling sound. Don't ask. Already had that happen. Whistling sound doesn't sound nice when you're trying to play games. So. Never tighten all your screws down until you get all 4 screws in. Because if not, then you'll be stuck trying to line up that last screw hole. And it's a pain. Trust me, I know that. Looks good to me. And don't tighten these down too tight, because let me explain to you why. They only give you a certain amount of ridge that's on these screws. And if you tighten them too tight, then you'll pop right through the ridge, that little slot, and you won't be able to screw it in. Then you got to take and put a washer behind it and stuff like that. It's just a mess. So now I can tighten up my fan that's on top. Reason why my fan wasn't tightened on top, because I got to tighten the one in the back. And now the back's done, I can tighten up the one on the top. It's a jigsaw puzzle, guys. Jigsaw puzzle. So, you just got to play with it until you get it right. Okay. Now, jigsaw puzzle is coming along great, though. Let's go back to the chat. I'm going to use an overlay to monitor temps on GPU and CPU. I'm certain the fans are set up wrong, so I will run this anyway. For an hour. Then switch the fans around and check. Okay. Unless the fans right here are reversed, then all your air blows out the back. So if you're taking in air this way, going through the if you're taking in air this way, going through and coming out this way in the back. So this exhausts your air, this brings in your air. It's positive pressure. So if you don't got positive pressure, then you're going to have heating problems. 5800X. Mine's a 5700X, bro. Mine's a 5700X. It's only 5% slower than the 5800X. So you can if 5800X, you can pretty much plug into any B550 motherboard that has 2 to 3 slots, and you can get the motherboard for less than 130, 140 bucks, maybe less. So Oh, okay, I got you now. Yeah, that could be a possibility. They could have it stuck in backwards. Or what they could have had was the fan curve is not set correctly. See, if you got your fan curve set in the BIOS of the motherboard, then maybe the fan curve is not set correctly, not hitting at a certain temperature, the certain amount of 100% of the fan. Maybe it's just running at 60%, not causing enough airflow, causing heating. That's a possibility. So, two ways you can look at this. Just look at both. Look at the fact of which way your fan are positioned, and then look at the fact of the way the fan curve is set. Those are the two ways that you could have an issue. So, just letting you know that. Now I got the one, and you notice how I'm decking this out with fans and how I'm positioning the fans. I want the negative air coming out. I want the positive air going in. This is how you create a wind tunnel in your PC. That it will keep your graphics card and your motherboard and everything on it as cool as a cucumber. I've already tested the temperature in this case, and it's just as low as my brand new case. So, this is my older case. I got my brand new case, and it's the same amount of airflow. So, it's how you pitch it in, and how it goes out. So, but with this case too, I have two slots here for two more fans, right here, for two more fans. So if I don't have enough positive airflow, I can put two fans in here and have it blowing upwards. So now I got 5 air intake fans, and I got 3 negative air fans, which you want to keep it 3 and 3. You don't want too much positive air because you'll burn out the blades, you burn out the motors of the fans. You want it equally. 3 fans and 3 fans. If you go to put 2 down here, then these 2 either become a positive or a negative pressure, depending on how you want to aerate your case. You can make these 2 a negative, but then you're putting a hurt on your power supply, because now it's blowing all the hot air down on the power supply. But with this power supply, it does not have a cage on top of it, so it's only heating the case. So, I've got a few ATX motherboard choices, no big deal. Thanks for the info. Just wanting to check all options. There's plenty of options for you. One, you can get a $50 case, take all the fans out of it, put it into a better case for $50, and then turn around and have that as an ATX case, and turn around, you could get an ATX motherboard if that's what your concern is. It might cost you an extra $50 to get the case, but you got all the rest of the parts of that computer that you can shove into that computer, that new computer you're building. So you have more than one option. You have a lot of fews. So, I'm going to research external storage drives for storing games, pros and cons. Well, unless the transfer rate is 10 gigabits per second, maximum, on your USB drive. The only thing you're going to get out of your USB drive is about maybe, and if it's a 3.0, you're only going to get 3,000 megabits per second. maybe less. Unless it's a 4.0, USB 4.0, then it should be able to handle up to 10,000 megabits per second, equal to what that drive is putting out. But I doubt you're going to have an M.2 drive running at 10,000 megabits per second. Because usually if you get a standard one, they're usually running between 5,000 and 7,000 megabits per second. So you're only going to be using 3,500 to 4,000 megabits per second anyway. Because that's what it uses on a standard motherboard. Especially with AM4. Now, if you go AM5, you might be able to get it up to 7,000 or 8,000. But there's no way it's going to do 10,000 megabits per second. There isn't. So, this has already been researched. I've already done the research on it. And I've already had people tell me and they've already measured it. It's not possible. The motherboards are not designed to go that fast. So, I just tell you what I know, and you can take it from there. Simple. You know, I just give you my 2 cents, and that's, you know. Truthfully, I really don't see the need to go any faster than you need to, because I'll explain to you why. The point's going to be is this. When I was testing my regular hard drive, going and downloading, transferring from my M.2 drive to my my regular hard drive, it was only doing 60 to 70 megabits per second. Now, when I did it from M.2 to M.2 on this motherboard, and believe it or not, it was only doing 85 megabits per second. So, and I know what I put into this system, and I know it's not slow. But overall, in less than 3 minutes, I transferred close to 3 terabytes. So, like I said, it's not that slow. They say fresh air for liquid coolers, but that recycles the hot air. To me, that's silly. I'll let y'all answer that, because that is silly. That is crazy. That's beyond what I've just... No. It's not how heat works. Hot air rises. Hot air rises. And as long as hot air rises, and this is where builders make a mistake, putting an AIO cooler in front of here is the biggest mistake in the world. They say, oh no, because it won't heat up your motherboard and this and that. Yes, it will. It'll heat it up even hotter. When you're putting full pressure from your processor to an AIO cooler and you're saturating it, all that air coming in is nothing but hot air. You're heating up your PC. The biggest mistake in the world to make. Now, you can put it on top where it exhausts the air, and it'll keep your CPU just as cool as it would be in front of here. So, but you got a better advantage. Now you're bringing in cool air and exhausting the hot. But if you're putting in hot and exhausting hot, you're just making it hotter. It's common sense. So, the overlay will tell me one or the other. Well, I already tell you because I have over 30 years of experience, bro. And this is the way I've been doing mine ever since the dawn of time. And I'm going to continue to do them the same way because I never have an issue with the PC getting hot. Never. So. And it looks good too, you know. I make it look good too. So. Only problem I got with this right now is this fan is this much too long. This much. The holes, I put it on the one side, top here, only come up to right here. Comes up to right here. So either I missed something or these fans are too big. Because this is 120, this is 240. And it should handle 240. Not unless right here. That means I'm going to have to lower this fan. Is it going to clear? I'm going to have to lower this fan and restrict a little bit of the air. Just so I can get that extra fan in. But it's not much. It's only 0.1% on the restriction. So I'm going to have to get my ingenuity going and see how far I can push this back. Which I hope I can push it back pretty far. Yay. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I needed. So. They'll overlap each other, but they'll still pull the air out, so I'm not worried about it. And it's not that far off to where it's going to cause noise. So. I think I can get away with that. Hopefully. Okay. I think I can get away with that. What do you guys think? Can I get away with that? Don't look half bad. So, oh. Yeah. Jacks as far as what? USB jacks? That's not the issue. Is it? Or, if you got USB Type-C, then you might be able to get a speed advantage with USB Type-C. So you might be able to get 4 or 5 gigabits per second off of a USB Type-C, depending on what the motherboard calls for. But truthfully, if you're going to go through all that damn trouble, I would just get another motherboard, like you said. Because at that point in time, I don't think try to pull more energy from a potato is going to get it any bigger. So,
I mean, you're expecting the transfer rate to be higher on that motherboard, but that motherboard's designed for so much speed, and then you're not going to get any more. So if you go to get an M.2 USB hookup and you plug it all in and everything else, and you still don't see the speed, that's basically because the motherboard's a potato. It can't go any faster than what it's putting out now. So, the fastest motherboards are your 800 series motherboards. Fastest motherboards in town. When it comes to the USB and Thunderbolt. So, but some people, they don't have that kind of money for an 800 series motherboard neither. So, everything is understood. But if you're running AM4 motherboard and you got an AM4 processor and you need a better motherboard, it's cheaper just to get the motherboard. Because by the time you get done supplying all your parts to make it run on USB, you would have spent the same amount of just getting the motherboard. So yeah. So just my 2 cents, my opinion on it. But the motherboards I choose are usually the ones that you can do things with. The older motherboards, I usually choose the ones that you can do things with. Swap things out and stuff like that. You want to be able to make sure you have something that you can swap into your case really quick. Alrighty. Now, we got 3 fans in. We got the motherboard, the cooler in, all the connections for the motherboard done. Now we're working on the fans. Don't worry, I got enough fans for all of it. So, ooh, that would have been bad. Make sure I turn it the right way. Okay. Nice. So, let's see. I think that's why he sold it. It was overheating. Well, you could fix that, bro. You can fix that. I mean, build off of the platform. I mean, you got plenty of options. That's why if I don't pay attention to what I'm doing, I can make one mistake and then turn around. Later on, don't even catch it, and then I'm sitting there using the computer and stuff like that, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And all you got to do is look at one of the fans and they're backwards. Trust me, trial and error, it happens. That's the reason why I'm not wiring the fans in just yet. Because that I have to do next. And that's only the last thing I got to do with this case is wire in the fans. So, how's everybody's holiday going? How you guys doing on your Christmas Eve? You guys eating dinner yet? You eating ham and all that? You can see how mine's going. I'm right here with y'all. And you notice I'm keeping the fan loose while I'm putting all 4 screws in. This way you can line up the fan very easily. Too much. There we go. Okay. Keep all your cords on the inside. Always direct your cords towards the backside and the motherboard, like this. When you put your fans in, you want your fans, you guys probably can't see that, you want your fans going in like that on the other side, but you want the cord to where it comes in through the side here, so you want to be able to tuck away your cord. So that's the best way to do it. So I got my cord right here for the first one. I just shove it through the hole, and then now I got my 2 fans, shove it out the hole, and then put my 4 screws in. I might just drag my PC to the shop, ask them, bro, you can do what you want, man. I mean, look, the only way you're going to be able to learn to build a PC is if you experiment yourself. I've experimented over the years. So that's why I never go to a shop anymore, because why spend $200 on something that takes 10 minutes or 15 minutes? To pull a motherboard out, you're going to need thermal paste because of the heat sink on the CPU. You're going to need you're going to need thermal paste, and you got your 6 to 7 or 8 screws on the motherboard that secures it to the case. Then you got your 2 main lines. You got your 24 pin and you got your 8 pin that's on the motherboard. And then you got all your little connectors for your front I/O that connect onto the motherboard, and the rest of your I/Os are on the back. So you put your fans in and get them all secured. Then wire your fans into the motherboard, and then once you got everything said and done, before you put the cover on, you start up your computer and make sure it will log into Windows. And if it does, then the worst part of it's done. And then you go from there. You decide if you want to go into the BIOS and, turn up the speed of the RAM. Set expo in the RAM, undervolt, or however you want to do your processor and stuff like that. I mean, when you buy medium priced parts, and you go medium end instead of low end, you have more advantage. Me, this might be a low-end computer, but it still has an advantage on the motherboard that I can take and push it up into a turbo mode to make it run faster. And with the graphics card, I can put in MSI Afterburner and make that run faster. So, just 2 little things.
Last fan for the front. Now this is the tricky part, getting that one in. Yeah, but a shop's going to do the same thing I'm doing, bro. They're gonna pull it apart. They're going to take the motherboard and they're going to swap it out. They're going to put new thermal paste on the CPU, push it back in, put it all together, give it back to you and say it works. And then you're going to run into a problem. Oh, my internet's not working or something like that. Because they don't like to run the wire, the network cable, they like to run it off of Wi-Fi. So that way it saves them the time and aggravation for running it on a network cable and really seeing how well it works. I already had that happen before. That's why I never trust a technician anymore. It's because they lie to you when they go to build your crap. I build mine in front of you guys so you guys see what I'm doing. So I'm not, this is truth and reality. To them, building on like I'm doing here, that's a fantasy. That power supply adapter, I forgot about that. Okay. New micro motherboard is safest and easier choice and fastest. Yeah, it is. If you got a 10-pin connector on that power supply is not going to be over. It might be, but it might not be. It might not be over 400 watts. So, with you going to put a decent graphics card in there and expecting to get 250, 300 watts from that graphics card, you're going to chokehold that power supply. So, if you're going to build something that's proprietary, then build something with a small graphics card with no external power. And then you'll save the power supply because it'll only choke it out 75 watts. Instead of choking it out 400 watts. So. And the power of your fans, the power of your RAM, the power of the motherboard with all its extra components. It all adds up to the power supply, especially if you're running a 300 watt power supply. All that adds up. So that you have to take in consideration. That's why I always say 750 watt power supply or greater. At least you got somewhat of a future proof with 750 watts. If not, then you got yourself a $300 potato. I'm going to have to find one of those screws. Oh boy, let's see. I'm looking for I'm missing one of those. Alrighty, missing one of the screws. Time to go to my junk drawer. And look at there. Got one right there. I keep all my PC parts in a case. I got plenty of these. So. See, I was missing one screw. No, I ain't missing one screw. For a potato, this is not looking too bad, guys. For a potato, it's not looking that bad. So, let's see. Running those adapters are not really trustworthy. I'm just going to be honest with you. It'll be a good get you by kind of situation for temporary use. But over the time, that wire will get brittle because the amount of heat that it's generating with that break in between the plugs and the amount of power that you're pulling from it, and it won't last forever. They'll dry. What happens is the case of the wire dries out. I've already had that happen a couple times. So I'm not too much of a fan of adapters, but if this is your last resort, then yeah, I can see it being your last resort. So, just saying, it's not something I would prefer to do, but always got to look at what do you want? You want to have a fire, or you want to be safe? You want something to last a long time? I mean, truthfully, you can get motherboards all day long. I can get a B450 motherboard that'll run a 5800X for $79. That has, well, it has only one slot. But for $109, you can get a B550 motherboard that has two slots. So, but it's your choice on how you want to do it. So, it is your choice. You choose as what you will, what kind of motherboard you want to get. 5800X, B550. Or if you want to go up in your motherboards and go to B570 or something like that. So, me, I just stay with the B series motherboards. They do just as good as the X series motherboards. Or the Z series, or whatever. So, but that's your choice. That is your choice. I cannot twist your arm over that. Or I could do a Linus tip thing and say, and this is a segue to your sponsor. I ain't going to do that. So, and yeah, now, you know what? I can throw in the graphics card. Very simply, very easily. And find me a nice little screw that will go on there. So, we're getting there. Oh boy. Where'd it go? Wow, that screw was gone. I'm sure I'll find it. I'm sure I'll find it. But now we gotta find another one. Might work. Okay, let's try number 2. And yeah, I don't lose screws all the time, guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another screw, because there's no hole on this, but I'm going to clip it right there. I don't think that worked. I could have did something different. Put a washer there just to be on the safe so it doesn't fall down. But we're going to take one of these screws and see if we can clip it. Let's take this one out a little bit. Drop this one down. Okay. Tighten that one down. What I did was I ear clipped. I'll show you guys. Right here, what I did was I took a bottom screw, ear clipped it, so that way it's got two screws in there instead of one. It only has the hole for one, but I lowered it down just a little bit. And believe it or not, me lowering it down just a little bit, there, I can still plug things in with no problem. So that's what matters the most. Oh, you're welcome, man. No problem. No problem. I just tell you the things that I've gone through over the years, and you know how you deal with it and which way you want to go. But taking and having a technician build your stuff and you're not sure if it's going to be correct or not, because they always tell you, oh yeah, it's correct, and then when you get it home it's broken and it doesn't work, then you're in another pissed off state because now you done spent the gas to have them fix it, and that you can't get that money back when it comes to your gas money. So there's a lot of pros and cons to having somebody else work on my stuff. And that's how I learned. That's how I buckled down and start learning how to build PCs. Is because I got tired of the rip-off stage. You spend $200 to have a technician look at your stuff, and then they turn around and tell you, oh, there's nothing wrong, but you don't get back your deposit. You're like, what the hell, man? You had my PC for half a day, couldn't find a damn thing, and then charged me $200 and said it was all good. And then when I got it home, and then it turned around, it just didn't work at all. Now you're going to tell me that I broke it? See the point? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's pretty much how it happens. That's how they rip people off. Not all technicians do it, okay? Understand that. Not all technicians do it. But my faith left years ago when it comes to technicians. My faith is totally gone. So, I lost that trust. So right now what I'm doing is I'm plugging the fans in. I had to grab the first cord, which is this right here. This cord is a jumper cord that goes to all the fans. So all you do is you follow the little cutout that's in the back to the fan. Boom, it's done. Then you go to your next fan.
and connect your next fan. You just match the cutouts, and it's done. Then go to your next fan. By the time you get done, you'll have all your fans plugged in, depending on what kind of jumper cable you have for each one of the fans. So, don't worry, all these will be hidden. You won't see these. So now, I got the first 3 in. Now I'm going to think, okay. I'm pulling it up. I got a little top slot here that I can pull it up and around, which is tricky as hell to get your hands up in here. There we go. So, is because you got your I/O wires up in there. You got to be very careful you don't pull your I/O wires out of the sockets. So, we're getting there. Slowly but surely. So now I'm pulling this to the back. And watch half the wires go bye-bye. Okay. Now I got to turn it around. Because this one, this is where this connects. Right here. There. That's pretty much the 3 fans here, this fan here, and this fan here. So, that's pretty much that one connector. Now I like these is because what happens with them is these are double-sided right here. That's for the RGB when they want to do RGB, but we got this right here. And this connects all the fans. This will go on one of the motherboard's fan headers. So now we got that done. And now we got 2 left. These 2 left. And we got our bridge. The craziest thing you're ever going to see somebody do. Okay. Now, you got this one here. Okay. You got this one here. Okay. That's the last 2 fans. Now we got all the fans done. This one's optional. If they want to put another fan that's in there, they can put it down at the bottom. This will hook up the last fan. So, oh, I know that would have been a big mistake if you guys didn't catch it. So, I'm redirecting that plug to the top. So it keeps this spot open for an extra SATA drive. So we can do that. And then we will follow the cords. And we'll turn this over and follow the cords. So hopefully you guys are having fun so far. Now we're finishing up on the cording. We got this one open for a SATA drive, SSD. We got this open there. We can pull all the wires to here. We can push this wire back here. Okay. And we can take from here. I can undo the top of it. See, this is why I told you Velcro is going to become your friend. This way you can undo it, add to it, and be done with it. Instead of using twist ties, these right here, you make a mistake, you don't have any Velcro there, you're going to have a bad day. You're going to be spending twice the amount of money on these little black ties than you would these Velcro. So take my word for it. Enjoy the Velcro. That way you don't have any issues. Oh, can't do that just yet because now I gotta see where this is gonna land. Okay. Huh. See what I mean? Now I'm going back up the motherboard again. Or the case. My bad. Now I gotta go back up the case. Take this one wire back up the case. Wow. Let's see. Okay. Come on. And if you don't got enough wire, you just pull right through. Let's see. We're going to take it through this. Okay. That'll work for that. Yeah, that should work for that. Okay, so this is something I can tie off for now. This is not going to matter. So, okay. For now, we can do this. Very simple, very sleek, just like that. Alrighty.
And now, tuck it back, and you don't see it anymore. And this goes underneath here. And I'll come back to that when I get done with this. Not bad of a wire job. What do you guys think? So, I don't think it's that bad. And the wires are black, so you ain't gonna see nothing. Right now I'm connecting in the one set of fans. I have a fan header that's down at the bottom of the motherboard. So that just makes life easy. Can leave them loose, it's not in the way. For now. Now we just need to tie up the top cables. Get everything up out of the way. That'll work. Okay, now so far so good. So far so good. I think they'll be happy, guys. I think they'll be very happy. Last but not least, the last two fans I got to install. I have to put the fans in here and here, not here. Because I got this big fan back here that's going to draw the air out. So I'm not going to need any more horsepower than what I got for these two fans. So these two should be strong enough to push air in, and the back one should be strong enough to pull the air out. So, and yeah, that's what she said. I knew you guys were going to come up with something like that. So, okay, now, and these are held in with these little clips. So, that's pretty much it. I mean, the only thing I got to do is wait on the parts that I need to finish this. See, the thing is, I got notified by the one wanting this. He just messaged me, and I got the message on my PC that he said that they're gonna do Christmas a couple days later. So I was like, okay, man, not a problem. Is because he wanted me to get those hard drives and install them before he presents it to his kid. So it only makes sense. I mean, it only makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't want to get a computer that was halfway put together neither. So, it only makes sense. Oh, man, these fans are just... I'd love to get the fans where they screw in. You don't have this kind of flip-flop issue. Oh, this is going to be difficult. See, these clips you got to line up and put on the hanger and come on, clip in there. Oh, and it won't clip in. It'll be a pain. Ay, 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 ay. This is the difficult part of the whole build, is putting these fans onto the air-cooled heat sink. Because then you got to figure which way this goes. If it bends this way, this way, or up this way, you know. It's a fishing expedition. I know the first thing y'all are going to say, why'd you put the graphics card in? I'm waiting for it. I know you guys are going to say it. Why did I put the graphics card in? Come on. Almost home. Yay. There. I got one pain in the butt fan in.
Now you see why I say AIO coolers are your friend. So, boy, it seems quiet tonight. What's going on with y'all? What's happening? You occupied at the house, or you probably got somebody talking dirty to you, and you didn't even tell us. But anyway, I'm sorry, I had to slip that in there. It's the Christmas cheer. So, now, I got this secondary fan I got to pull in here. Alrighty. I think they're going to have a cool little PC. I really do. Oop, put that in backwards. Oh, come on. You gotta be fucking shitting me. Sorry, guys. Computer stress. Oh, man. Don't tell me it popped out of there. Yep. Ooh, that's not good. Check and make sure it's lined up. Nope. Yep. It is now. They better be getting you a case of Prime for Christmas. I hope so. Telling you. Ooh, lordy. Yep. Last one of these little clips. Thank God. Let's see. The hardest thing to do right here. Alrighty. Almost there. This is not easy. It's like I need a third hand. I found ways to settle a light into the computer to let me see different angles. Why couldn't I go the other way? Does it have to be that way? Yeah, it does, because damn. Has to go that way. It's what holds the two sections together. Come on. Okay. No, we'll force it in. We will force it in. Make it work. Hey, buddy. That's what I'm talking about right there. Now, you gotta pull the light out. Okay. Thank God it's a Xeon processor. Or I would have been monkey messing with those pins on the AMD one, because AM4's got the one with the pins. I moved the heat sink a little bit. It would have screwed those pins. So thank God for something. Our family started having Christmas early or later to avoid all the rushing around. A good deal, man. All mine was done on January the 1st. So by the time I hit Christmas, I was already done. All mine begins on January the 1st. So after that, Christmas is done. I avoid the whole year. And now, one thing I did forget. Son of a bitch. I forgot the VRAM. No, I forgot the system RAM. This is not going to be easy. Oh, that's it. It's over. Guys, we're going to have a part 2 to this. I'm going to put this off to the side. My brain is fried right now. Oh. We're going to have a part 2. I still got other parts I got to put in this. So, and plus he gave me a couple extra days so we can have a part 2. Not on Christmas Day. We're not going to have a part 2 on Christmas Day. We'll have a part 2 on Thursday. Around noon maybe. So, make sure y'all stay for that. But I gave it almost 3 hours. I got 90% of it done. So, just that little extra will give me room and time maybe to benchmark it and stuff like that. So, we'll have to see how that goes. So, just starting wood stove. I was flooding chat, wanted to give others a chance to speak. I think they all went to sleep on us. Truthfully, I think they all went to sleep on us, man. I think they all fell asleep at the keyboard. You have to ask them. You fall asleep at the keyboard? What's going on, man? So. Well, I want you... Okay, guys. We will finish it up. Try to on Thursday, and if I don't post an update, on Thursday. Then it'll probably be Saturday we can finish this up. So right now he says there's not much of a rush, you know, because they got millions of things that they already got them. So they said it's not a big time rush because they want to get it, they want to do it their way. So I'm like, okay, whatever you want to do. But I want you guys to have a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. We're going to go ahead and jump out of here. Hopefully you had fun for the last 3 hours. We had a little bit of fun putting a PC 90% together. I'll leave it sitting on the floor so we can put it the rest of the way together, either on Thursday or Saturday. Depending on what's going on in real life, you guys know how it works. Real life always comes first. And then you're able to do your YouTubing. Put the flashlight in your mouth. No! No, I ain't gonna do that. Come on, man. Oh my God. No, my God. No, that ain't my bag, bro. You asked a girl to do that, not a guy. Guy won't put a flashlight in his mouth. Guarantee it. I'm not going to put a flashlight in my mouth holding it while I'm sitting there doing this. I'll just get one of those headpieces that go over your head. And that way, you know, you can shine right in. But I didn't want to do that neither because, you know. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hopefully you guys have a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. And, oh, don't worry about it, bro. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I want you guys to have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Well, we're going to see you before New Year. Guarantee it. So, but anyway, like I told you, if I don't post anything on Thursday, then it'll be Saturday. We'll have something cooking. So, especially with this, we'll see how far we get on Saturday. And hopefully we can get it all done and get it benchmarked and ready to go out the door on Saturday. If it comes down to Saturday. But if they tell me they want it sooner, then it'll be Thursday. How about that? We'll just do that. So, but if you don't see me post on Thursday for the live feed, then you know it's Saturday. So, I want y'all to have a great evening and a Merry, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Well, a Merry, Merry Christmas. Being on the 24th of November. Was I about to say November? Damn. Meant December. Y'all have a good one. And we will see you on the next video.